to strengthen ties between India and Argentina. Prime Minister Modi lays a wreath at the St. Martin Memorial in Buenos Aires, Argentina, becomes the first Indian Prime Minister to visit Argentina in 57 years. Nirav Modi's brother Nehal Modi arrested in the US on a CBI and Enforcement Directorate's extradition request, wanted in India in connection with 13,000 crore PNB fraud case. Uddhav and Raj Thackeray reunite after 19 years. Raj Thackeray says Devendra Fadnavis brought them together, did what Balasaheb Thackeray couldn't do. Businessman Sushil Kedia makes a U-turn after attack on Worli office. 5 MNS supporters arrested for vandalizing the office. Raids inside Bihar's Beor jail after businessman and BJP leader Gopal Khemka was shot dead outside Patna home. SIT formed to probe the case. Youth Congress workers in Kerala stage a protest outside the State Health Minister Veena George's house, demand her resignation over the building collapse in Kottayam Medical College. Shubman Gill breaks yet another record, surpasses Sunil Gavaskar's 54-year record for India in a single test. Bilawal Bhutto claims Pakistan does not know the whereabouts of a wanted terrorist Masood Azhar, expresses willingness to nab Masood if India provides evidence on his location in Pakistan. Now, ladies and gentlemen, 2025 has witnessed multiple unpredictable events that no one was really prepared for. Something similar was witnessed today in Mumbai. Estranged warring Thackeray brothers came together for the first time after 2 decades, something that the late Balasaheb Thackeray also failed at. From contesting against each other over Marathi pride to now leveraging the same Marathi asmita to join forces against the Fadnavis government and language row. Nearly 20 years after they parted ways following a power tussle, Shiv Sena chief Uddhav Thackeray and Maharashtra Navanirman Sena chief Raj Thackeray were seen in a joint rally in Worli after nearly 20 long years. MNS chief Raj Thackeray on Saturday said that the 3-language formula imposed by the state government was a precursor to its plan to separate Mumbai from Maharashtra as he shared the political stage with his cousin Uddhav. The victory rally, titled Awaj Marathicha or Voice of Marathi, was planned by the two parties together after the ruling Mahayuti government led by Devendra Fadnavis rolled back its decision to make Hindi mandatory as a third language in the state's primary schools recently. Following a strong opposition both from Raj Thackeray and Uddhav Thackeray and the intellectuals from civil society, the state government of Maharashtra was compelled to take a decision on it. It has been observed in political circles that the Thackeray cousins uniting over a common cause could also set the stage for the political reunion, especially with an eye on the local body elections later in the year. Both parties have pulled out all the stops to put up a strong show of strength for the rally, which is being held at the NSCI Dome, Worli.
पहिल्यांदा तर मी राज ठाकरेंचे आभार मानतो की त्यांनी या ठिकाणी दोन बंधू एकत्रित येण्याचं श्रेय मला दिलं. श्रद्धेय बाळासाहेबांचे आशीर्वाद हे मलाच मिळत असतील. पण मला असं सांगण्यात आलं होतं की विजय मेळावा होणार आहे, पण त्या ठिकाणी रुदालीचं भाषण देखील झालं आणि मराठीबद्दल एक शब्द न बोलता आमचं सरकार गेलं, आमचं सरकार पडलं, आम्हाला सरकारमध्ये द्या, आम्हालाच निवडून द्या. हा मराठीच्या विजय उत्सव नव्हता, ही रुदाली होती. त्या रुदालीचं दर्शन ते त्या ठिकाणी आपण घेतलेलं आहे. मुळात त्यांना असूया आहे की 25 वर्ष महानगरपालिका त्यांच्याकडे असताना दाखवण्यालायक ते काहीच काम करू शकले नाहीत. पण मोदीजींच्या नेतृत्वात आम्ही ज्या प्रकारे मुंबईचा चेहरा बदलवला, त्यांच्या काळामध्ये मराठी माणूस मुंबईतनं हद्दपार झाला. आम्ही बीडीडी चाळीतल्या मराठी माणसाला, पत्रा चाळीतल्या मराठी माणसाला, अभ्युदयनगरच्या मराठी माणसाला हक्काचं मोठं घर हे त्याच ठिकाणी दिलं. याची असूया त्यांच्या मनामध्ये आहे. पण मी नेहमी सांगतोय, पब्लिक हे सब जानती आहे. त्यामुळे मुंबईतला मराठी असो की अमराठी सगळेच आमच्या सोबत आहे. आम्ही मराठी आहोत, आम्हाला मराठी असण्याचा अभिमान आहे, मराठी भाषेचा अभिमान आहे. पण त्याच वेळी आम्ही हिंदू आहोत, आम्हाला हिंदुत्वाचा अभिमान आहे आणि आमचं हिंदुत्व हे सगळ्यांना सोबत घेऊन चालणार आहे हिंदुत्व.
या मराठी प्रेम तो समझ सकते हैं, लेकिन हिंदी भाषा का विरोध करने की भावना ठीक नहीं है. या मराठी बोलना ही चाहिए, इसी दादागिरी करना ठीक नहीं है. राज ठाकरे जी ने पहले मन सैनिकों को बताने की आवश्यकता है कि भाई इसी तरह की दादागिरी करना ठीक नहीं है. और दादागिरी को दादागिरी का भी उत्तर दिया जा सकता है. दादागिरी उनको करने के लिए आती है ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है, लेकिन इसी तरह की भूमिका लेना ठीक नहीं है, किसकी पिटाई करना ठीक नहीं है.
वो आज जिन पार्टियों के साथ खड़े हैं उनके दौरे हुकूमत में इस हिंदुस्तान में कश्मीर में आईएसआईएस और पाकिस्तान के झंडे दिखाई पड़ते थे. मुझे लगता है कि इस प्रकार के वक्तव्य देने से पहले उन्हें भी इस गरिमा का ध्यान रखना चाहिए. किसी भी पार्टी का, हम सभी दलों का सम्मान करते हैं, परंतु उनके दौरे हुकूमत में तो राष्ट्रीय ध्वज का सम्मान नहीं होता. आज भी वो जिन लोगों के साथ खड़े हैं वो कहते हैं कि ये कहां किताब में लिखा है कि राष्ट्रीय गान हो तो खड़ा होना चाहिए और राष्ट्रीय ध्वज का सम्मान करना चाहिए. और इसलिए मुझे लगता है कि इस अपने वक्तव्य को यदि सम्यक विश्लेषण करेंगे तो बेहतर समझ पाएंगे कि वो जिस महान विरासत का प्रतिनिधित्व कर रहे हैं, श्रद्धेय बालासाहब ठाकरे जी की विरासत का, उसके अनुरूप आज की डेट में उनकी पार्टी का आचरण नजर नहीं आ रहा.
Well, the political temperature is soaring in Maharashtra, and to discuss this further, I am joined by our esteemed panel of guests this evening. I am joined by Kishore Tiwari, who is a Shiv Sena spokesperson from the UBT faction. I am also joined by Sushil Vyas, who is an advocate and a Shiv Sena spokesperson. Jayant Menkar, political analyst. Reni Abraham, a senior journalist. Good evening to all of you. Thank you for taking your time and joining us over here. I would first go across to you, Mr. Menkar. Did you ever imagine seeing Raj Thackeray and Uddhav Thackeray coming together, holding this massive rally, keeping their political party identities aside, coming together for Maharashtra? Or are they coming together to save their careers, because it looks like it's a battle for survival?
Yes, your last sentence is correct. It's a battle for survival. Mr. Uddhav Thackeray wants to hold the forte. A 25 years, Shiv Sena had its rule from 1997 till 2022. That BMC was in their hand. And it looks like how the surveys came, that if the MNS and Sena would have fought separately, BJP with Shinde Sena would have had upper hand. That was the survey, that was what indicated. And for the last 3 years, the BMC is in the hands of administrator. Obviously, BJP by proxy is ruling over it. Well, Uddhav may have had some chances of retaining his position. I mean, he may not be that bad, but he may have retained. But the worst position is of Raj Thackeray. He didn't get a single seat in assembly consecutive twice, not in 2019, even in 2024. He did not get a single seat. He has no MLA, no MP, not even a corporator. The worst situation. And this is the time when both their careers, their political careers, was at stake. One is at nowhere, another is trying to survive. They came together. They had the legacy of Thackeray. They had the name of Maharashtra, Marathi, Asmita, and everything. So the only thing that was expected that they should come together, and the final straw, final nail in a way, final mistake or Himalayan blunder, one can say, that Maharashtra BJP government committed of imposing Hindi from the first standard. There is no opposition to Hindi, but if you are imposing from the first standard, that was imposed, that was opposed by many people in many parties. You can have it from the fifth standard. Bollywood is in Mumbai, so we are not opposing Hindi, but why you are imposing from first standard? And this particular statement got a sort of opportunity to both Thackeray brothers to pound on it. They did it. They took an opportunity. This is the time we should come together. And the last sentence, which is very important, Mumbai's annual budget is 75,000 crore, which is bigger than many states in India. And for the last 25 years, Sena had a control over it. Now BJP is eyeing that financial capital, BMC, should be in their hands. With two Thackerays coming together, now there are bright chances that the maybe warring brothers for the 19 years, for last 19 years, they fought bitterly. They taunted each other like anything. They virtually made worst comments on each other. But now it's a time, as they are together, there are bright
so why
chances.
now? What is so important that has happened right now? Why is this time very conducive for Raj Thackeray and Uddhav Thackeray to come together, to join forces and take on the Fadnavis government over the language row? Kishore Tiwari, the spokesperson of the Shiv Sena UBT, why now? Is it because the BMC elections are around the corner, Mr. Tiwari?
The issue, as Jayant Mankar says, it was made compulsory. The GRs were issued. The central policy of the three bhasha formula that making Hindi compulsory from the class 1. Now from class 5th Hindi is there. So unnecessarily it gave a subject for uniting together. And they called for one morcha protesting the government policy, and subsequently government withdraw the GR. So their decision, they have withdrawn to make a Hindi compulsory from the class first. So there was a victory celebration. But these two brothers should be united together was a demand of Marathi people in Maharashtra. Not only Marathi people, Hindi people also feel that two brothers should come together. So the people's aspiration and demand has been fulfilled. As you were saying that this is before the elections in Maharashtra for municipal corporation and Jilla Parishad. So we have already declared that we will be fighting together coming elections, and we will show our strength. So it is not 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. It is 1 plus 1 is equal to 11. And now it is set that the Thackeray brothers will rule Mumbai after 3 years of the de facto rule of the BJP, which has literally collapsed local administration. And this challenge will continue. And
Ms. Reni Abraham, you've heard what Mr. Tiwari had to say. He's saying that it was a long-standing demand of the people of Maharashtra to see the Thackeray brothers coming together on the issue of Marathi Manus, Marathi Asmita. But can we overlook the timing, especially when it comes to the BMC elections? And also, in this particular case, who is riding pillion? Is it Raj Thackeray or Uddhav Thackeray?
Well, Soumya, you're spot on when you say about the timing. And if you noticed today's function with the two Thackeray scions coming together on stage, while Raj Thackeray was a little more reserved and limited to the discussion on Marathi and the Marathi Manus, you noticed that Uddhav Thackeray, on the other hand, he effectively converted the function into a pre-poll kind of a campaigning by taking taunts and making references derogatorily, if I may say so, towards the Prime Minister of India, PM Narendra Modi. So the fact that he chose it for today's function when it was supposed to be just the realignment of the two brothers who had separated post 2005 after the appointment of Uddhav Thackeray as the working president of the Shiv Sena, and that was a post that Raj Thackeray had been coveting for a long time and had been even he has his mannerisms, he had cultivated the identical mannerisms like his uncle, the late Balasaheb Thackeray, the supremo of the Shiv Sena. So in today's function, it is apparent that it has been converted into a pre-poll campaigning for the forthcoming BMC elections. It is, of course, the richest, cash-rich civic body of the country. And the Shiv Sena is particular that they want to retain their hold over the BMC in the forthcoming elections. And like Jayant Mainkar pointed out, they have been, the civic administration is being run by administrators, not only in BMC, but also 28 odd other municipalities across the state of Maharashtra, effectively for the last 3 years. So this is a big election that is being looked forward to after the general elections and state assemblies were concluded in 2024. So as far as your question about who will ride pillion, that again I think is quite obvious. If you will indulge me a moment, Soumya, the history of the Shiv Sena, I had the good fortune as a writer for the current weekly back in 96, when Balasaheb had his, he had undergone a bypass surgery of the heart. At that time, everybody wondered who would be the next, after Balasaheb Thackeray to lead the party. I was fortunate enough to be able to write a piece in the current weekly then in 96, 97, and the headline of my article read so: after Balasaheb Thackeray, it is Uddhav Raj and not Raj's Raj, which came to be proved right in 2005, 9 years later, when in fact Uddhav was made the working president. Even now, in this reconciliation, it is quite obvious that Uddhav Thackeray would have the upper hand in negotiations, what with Raj Thackeray having no corporators to show for the BMC. Whereas Uddhav Thackeray's party, the Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Sena, has 85 sitting corporators from the last dispensation. So, by all accounts, politically speaking, it is more of a survival battle for Raj Thackeray's Manse and more of a pretty sitting for, Uddhav Thackeray sitting pretty with the fact that he has now got Raj Thackeray's Marathi voters that he would otherwise have divided from his vote share to be now enjoined with him. In addition to which, he is also in a tie-up with the India bloc, and therefore the Muslim voters and the Dalit voters of the traditional Congress party voters are also going to accrue to Uddhav Thackeray in all the seats that his party will contest in BMC. So he sits pretty and Raj Thackeray rides pillion.
Thank you for putting it very succinctly, Mr. Abraham. But like Fadnavis had just mentioned a short while ago, I'm taking a leaf from what Devendra Fadnavis had said, that ye public hai, ye sab janti hai. If Uddhav Thackeray feels that he can mislead the people, the voters of Maharashtra, well, that is not going to happen, where you can have the Muslim vote bank, you're catering to the Marathi vote bank as well. Advocate Sushil Vyas, this demand for the brothers to come together has been a long-standing demand, like Mr. Tiwari was mentioning. But despite the demand, Uddhav Thackeray decided to stitch an alliance with the Mahavikas Aghadi. He did not decide to come along with Raj Thackeray at that point in time. So what's different now? And are we to now believe that all is well? Because it wasn't just Raj Thackeray and Uddhav Thackeray coming together. We did see how there was Aditya Thackeray also. So is it going to be the next generation that is being ushered into this politics of joining forces together?
Samyaji, I'm still surprised whether today's rally was for Marathi pride or for these two brothers to come together. So let us decide, because what's publicized, no agenda, only agenda of Marathi. So yes, there was no agenda. But what was agenda? Whether Marathi pride was discussed there in the dome, or forthcoming BMC election was widely discussed, and only derogatory language, as Mr. Abraham just now said, against the opponent, including Prime Minister and the opponent, political opponent. So this kind of language, whether it is a pride of Maharashtra, and who made a demand for these both the brothers to come together politically? See, today it was widely publicized. It was only for Marathi pride. And who brought that GR? With respect, who brought that GR? Kishore Bhai was just saying it was for not making Hindi compulsory from standard 1. Who brought that? First of all, in 22 January, when Mr. Uddhav Thackeray himself was Chief Minister, Maselkar report was put before Cabinet, and a committee was formed for implementation of this recommendation was 3 language formula should be made compulsory from standard 1 to 12. Can anybody deny that? Now, against whom? Victory rally against whom? Your own GR was withdrawn by government, the present government. So, victory against whom? To whom you are misleading? To what kind of claim you are making? So today was basically a political gathering for a forthcoming election, as Mr. Abraham and Jainji said. So it was not a rally for Marathi pride. It was a rally for getting votes. So the people of Maharashtra, they are wise enough. They know what to do and how to do. Because 8 months back, the people, those who have voted overwhelmingly under the leadership of Eknath Raoji Shinde, we won 60 seats out of total contested 80 seats, whereas Uddhav Thackeray ji contested 100 seats, got only 26, and overall we got 235 seats out of 288. So do you think that there was no Marathi voters with Devendra Fadnavis ji and Eknath Raoji Shinde? So those who have voted us for, they were also equally concerned for the Marathi pride. They were also Maharashtrian voters. They are also followers of Hindu Hriday Samrat Balasaheb Thackeray. Our party, we strongly believe what Balasaheb ji told us: 80% social work, 20% political work. So if believing that, we were working 24/7 for people of Maharashtra. That's why in return, people of Maharashtra blessed us with an overwhelming majority in November 2024, and that's why this present government we are running with the blessing of Maharashtra people. So there is no question that what others are saying, what Uddhav ji is saying. Now people of Maharashtra are strongly with the present government, and we will continue to work in for the welfare of Maharashtra.
Absolutely. Mr. Menkar, we did hear what both the factions of Shiv Sena had to say, but is there somewhere that you get a sense that perhaps Uddhav Thackeray has left its voters confused? Where exactly lies Uddhav Thackeray's loyalties? Where exactly lies Uddhav Thackeray's political ideology, for that matter? Is it with the side with the Mahavikas Aghadi, or is it with Raj Thackeray and MNS, for that matter? Because many times we did see how the ally partners of Uddhav Thackeray from Mahavikas Aghadi did not agree with the politics of Raj Thackeray. What happens to the Mahavikas Aghadi then? Athawale goes ahead and says that it looks like the Mahavikas Aghadi is staring at a split.
Athawale is not cognizable, but yes, Supriya Sule, Jitendra Aghad were present with Uddhav and Raj Thackeray, or even Prakash Reddy, the communist, and even Jayant Patil of PWP, they were present. So, barring Congress, all the constituents of Mahavikas Aghadi were present. But your question is pertinent because Sharad Pawar's Congress, rather this NCP, has no presence in Mumbai. It has some presence due to Aghad in Thane, that is okay. But in Mumbai, it has no presence. In Mumbai, after Shiv Sena, if any party is important, it is obviously in Mahavikas Aghadi, it is obviously Congress, which had in the outgoing corporation had some 30 odd corporators, and the present political situation, particularly the minority, the Muslim votes and for the Dalit votes, you are right that Uddhav Thackeray has to depend on Congress support only, because that was the backbone when Uddhav Thackeray joined hands with Congress and NCP to get chief ministership. So the question is pertinent. But now, in Mumbai, there are over 40% Marathi speaking population, and they're angry with their particular Hindi imposing decision. I don't agree with what Mr. Shiv Sena spokesperson just now said, that Mashelkar committee and all that. Mashelkar committee might have given the recommendation, given or not given, I'm not going into it. Who imposed, who implemented, I'm just bang on that, and the answer comes to Devendra Fadnavis. And here,
let me get question across to Mr. Ibrahim. I have paucity of time. 60 seconds for you, Mr. Ibrahim. Quickly put it together, as you'll seasoned the journalist, that this road ahead is not going to be that easy for Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackeray, because both of them are vying for the Marathi votes.
You're absolutely right, Soumya. In fact, as Jayant was elucidating, and as I had stated to TV9 Live earlier today at 2 p.m., the fact of the matter is the Marathi voter is not only limited to the Shiv Sena and the Manse. The Congress also commands a sizable share of the Marathi voters of Mumbai, as well as, the Muslim votes, and therefore it has a limited presence, although 33 seats. But what is crucial here to understand is the last BMC elections held in 2017, when the BJP and the Shiv Sena, despite being in government together in Maharashtra, fought against each other for the BMC elections. At that time, the Shiv Sena, on its own strength, was able to have 85 corporators elected from the Shiv Sena, whereas the BJP, not to be left behind, also was able to elect 83 corporators. Now, the total number of corporators is 227 in Mumbai. So, therefore, they both had a great showing, although now the Sena feels that with the Congress also an alliance partner, although it was conspicuous by its absence in today's function, which was, like Jayant pointed out, attended by PWP's Jayant Patil, the RPI, some aspects from NCP Jitendra Awad. But the Congress was missing in action.
Absolutely. So, I will have to interject over there, Mr. Ibrahim, but I have paucity of time. But thank you to all our panel of guests this evening, Mr. Kishore Tiwari, Advocate Sushil Vyas, Jayant Menkar and Reni Abram for taking our time and joining us over here. Clearly, this is a beginning. We do not know whether it's going to be smooth sailing for the Thackeray cousins together in Maharashtra. And with that, we're slipping into a short break right now. Lots more lined up. Stay tuned.